Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rolls to Astonish, where we're back with Stranger Wonderland Season 2. I am your host, your eternal host, Steven. I am playing Sarah Sparrow tonight, our resident occultist nerd. Joining me tonight is the creator of Wonderland and our wonderful GM, Marco.
Hi there.
Also joining me is Haley.
Hi, I'm playing Jules, as per usual, the brutish grunge girl that just doesn't know when to get the fuck up, evidently, even when literally stupid decisions are screaming in her face.
Also joining me is Zach.
Hi, I'm playing Russell. I'm trying to be good moral support, I guess.
And last but not least is Eric.
Hello, everyone. Playing Vesely.
All right, so
Who are we starting with?
why don't we recap?
Well, three of us, Jules, Russell, and Vasily, had discovered that our associate was dealing Wonderland drugs and was associated with a ominous character named Dr. Null. That's a giveaway. Running drug experiments on students out of our university. So we went to pay him a visit, knowing that we would need to come upon him in Wonderland, and I think kill him is
basically the actual Dr. Null is down in Wonderland while his shadow is being reflected upwards. So in order to get to him, we have to get to the clinic, descend, and face off against him. Because if we try to kill him up on the surface, it'd just be his shadow disappearing, more or less.
And he'd come back. So we went to the place, and we
after a quick pit stop to Jewel and her buddies to get something to help them descend, because they can't do manual descent yet.
Right. Shot up Gremlin.
Well, not shot up. We smoked it.
We vaped it.
Vaped some dank gremlin.
We vaped some dank gremlin, and we found ourselves plunged into Nazi world. The Army of No has several outposts here, and we met the Secretary of the Army, who is sick of being posted here. So let us through the gate so we could confront Dr. Null, which is where we are, and he's a gruesome character with an exposed brain and a gas mask.
Instead of a surgical mask, he has a gas mask. I want to take a second here. That is correct. And on the other side, Sarah, you had something queued up. You want to talk about that, Zach? Steven?
I don't play Sarah.
Yeah,
I know.
I'll talk about that. So basically, Sarah found out that her shadow was hanging out in a temple down deep in Wonderland.
Deeper Wonderland, right.
Deep Wonderland. And is now trying to figure out a way to get down there. She's been given the opportunity to go see a very dangerous, horrible person who could do it, who's a magician, or she can find her own way. She might have an idea. That will either get her... One plan has already failed, but she might have an idea that will either get her down there or at least give her some protection against the magician. And for that, she's gonna have to go back to help out the gang.
So I want to take a second before we get started. I'm not going to do this too often, but for people who are not that familiar or at all familiar with Jag's Wonderland, I want to briefly touch on what's going on that the players may be a little bit more aware of. So the idea of Wonderland is that there's multiple levels of reality that are called in Alice in Wonderland style chessboards, but they're different levels of reality, similar to what you'd see in Silent Hill or some of the Persona games or things like that, where things go from recognizable but different to incredibly strange and no longer recognizable. Then down in the depths are these antagonists or beings called the caretakers, who are these powerful Wonderland figures. Some of them would go by the names of like that you recognize, like the Cheshire Cat or Red Queen, but there's plenty of others as well, including ones that never appeared in Alice in any of the Alice books. So these caretakers have designs on doing bad things to reality, solving the problem of humanity, and two of them, two factions, have different solutions. One of which is the hypotherapist, who is the Walrus from the Carpenter and the Walrus poem, and his plan, he acts as a sort of a doctor, a psychological entity, a psychological practice entity, and his plan is to expose humanity to the worthlessness of their condition, curing them of their dreams of continuation or making a difference, which would, involve mass suicide. And they've run into a attempt at jump-starting this with a drug called the Black Pill, which is a few years early from internet parlance. But this guy was trying, was working out one of their operational groups was working out a test case of it to spread it as an illegal drug throughout certain channels, where it would set off these chain reactions of multiple mass suicides that would apparently grow and grow if it worked correctly. According to what they saw, it wasn't quite perfected yet, but they were racing ahead. The hypotherapist people in this clinic are racing ahead with it. The other thing that's going on that they're aware of is the Army of No is active. The Army of No is a group of non-human, militarized, somewhat absurd entities that are, if anyone has seen the animated Yellow Submarine movie with the Beatles, they are the Blue Meanies or something similar, kind of similar to that. And they are under control of a different faction that is also launching an attack against humanity at the same time, and they seem to be working together, which is rare, and it's unusual. The characters have an idea that things are badly wrong, that there's these attempts to end mankind coming from two different directions that have been stepped up, substantially from where they might be making long-term plans. It's now become an immediate crisis to try to solve the problem of man. And so the characters are here to take care of one of the more immediate threats, the Black Pill, which is, being test created in one of the labs nearby. And they found the caretakers right hand man here. They're the guy, Lieutenant Dr. Null, who has taken over this operation. So that's where you guys are. Whereas Sarah Sparrow up in the University of Chicago actually had a meeting with some of the caretakers behind, one of the caretakers behind the brutal fascistic Army of No, who wanted to cut a deal with her. And it's apparently because her shadow, a version of herself, in Deep Wonderland, as we touched on, is apparently causing the caretaker entities, these extremely powerful, malevolent things, some concerns. Whatever Sarah Sparrow's shadow is doing down there has upset them. So, you guys, that we're going to start in where we left off. We're on Rolls to Astonish, on the Roll 20 in the office. If you guys can see that there, put your counters down. So you guys came in. Dr. Null has stood up. You can see his shiny, quivering, bloody and gray, semi-pinkish brain poking up out of the head of his cut open and removed skull cap.
All right, may as well start where we left off.
And
Sir, I
yes.
like what you've done with your hair.
I look over at Russell and you say, I wasn't sure I would be able to do this, but turns out it's not going to be a problem.
he says, so they found a way around our perimeter defenses. His mouth is moving fine under the gas mask. And he says, clever.
So,
Clever humans.
I mean, we
Lock-
try.
Yeah, so he shifts back and forth. By the way, you guys can pounce on him, but he is going to say something before you do. So you guys can decide if you preempt him and attack, or...
Russell will lock the door.
You lock the door. By the way, there is a human secretary here. There.
Oh, fuck.
Well, this is the shadow of a human secretary, which means she works with the completely disfigured and horrifying Dr. Null, and she seems to be pressed against the wall, eyes wide. But it's the impression you get from her is more like a sense of astonishment that people are in here back talking this guy. You know, that these patients have wandered into the doctor's office and are, you know, she doesn't recognize you. She doesn't know who you are. When he's talking about having gotten past the defenses, she doesn't really seem to understand the import of that. But you know, she just seems like oh my God, students are in here upsetting the doctor, and you know, she's kind of horrified by that, but also not really about to get involved. So
That's a good idea.
yeah, well, she you know, Dr. Knoll apparently has famously limited patience for patients, and the so he has his hands, his fingers pressed down on the desktop as he leans forward. And he says, you've probably heard some nonsense about me trying to poison the minds of young, impressionable humans. Yes?
Maybe.
Poison? Wait. You know what? Never mind.
He looks back and forth. He says, I can smell Collins on you. I know you've seen him. He looks at you, Jules. You were quite the little conundrum.
I mean, I always am.
Are you working for someone? Collins thought you were.
Working for someone? Honey, the only person I work for is the record store in town. That's about it.
He smiles. You can see him smile under the mask. It's a gas mask, but you can see him smile because the wrinkles go up to his eyes and then no further because his head's cut off above that. But the also they stretch rather wide. You suspect he's got a slightly too big mouth underneath there. He says, everything you're trying to do is doomed. You're going, no matter how hard you strive, you eventually lose your grip on life. You plummet backwards, horrified into oblivion. Your last moments are fear and terror of nothing, and it is totally justified, and that is all your life ever adds up to.
Man.
Ain't you a Debbie Downer?
Yeah.
He says, that's the truth.
Okay.
I'm offering your species a chance to prepare for that instead of spending their last moments in meaningless agony and existential horror.
Now here's the thing, Doc. I have a problem with that. You see, it doesn't sound like you're much offering as you are more forcibly putting it in our hands. I would prefer a choice.
Do you give a child a choice about going to the doctor or taking a shot? No.
I mean,
you do not. You give them
depends on
sugar,
how old they are.
take their medicine. None of you are old. Your oldest is 100, 108. Nothing. nothing at all. You've seen fractions of this world. My makers have seen volcanic rock pushed up out of the mantle of a cooling planet. You are all children, and all of you need to take your medicine.
Just shoot him.
Fuck you, I'm an adult.
Someone shoot him.
I say you can go
Gladly!
you can go first into
Come here,
oblivion.
fucker!
Yeah, you hear something outside in the hall. You hear one of these cackling, blue yinny type voices saying, "Move, move aside."
Okay,
I think we're
I'm
ready.
gonna say
We're
this
ready to
at
go
the
into a new
Yeah,
deal.
that sounds like the start of combat. So,
yeah. I was about to say, as soon as Russell says, "Can somebody please shoot him?" Jules is just like, gladly aims her gun arm at him.
okay, everybody roll initiative.
All right. 4, 6.
Hold on, I gotta locate Jules' sheet first.
Hey,
Where are you?
that's a +3. Hoorah.
Jules, where the fuck are you? There you are. Okay, then.
If you hear the background noise, my kids have a friend over, and
They're having a good time.
they're avidly playing computer games on the couch.
And damn it. I
Sounds
fluffed
like they're-
it.
What'd you miss it by?
I missed by 3. I fluffed it hard.
Okay, and Vasily?
Missed it by 1.
The first person to go is Dr. Null, who made it by
I figured.
+4. Then Russell, then Vasily, then Jules.
Of course I go last. Even though I drew the gun first.
Well,
Damn
Slow
it.
on the draw. You're slow on the shot.
yeah. If there are certain situations like quick draw rules where those sorts of things can come into play, but in this case, he knew you were about to strike. There was no there wasn't really an element of surprise here or even
So basically it's just like, gladly. Ping, my hand!
Okay. Vasily,
Yes.
you see something burst out of his head.
Huh?
And yeah, this long whip-like cord or cable or hey, wait a minute, that's a spine.
Hey, wait a minute, that's a spine!
Out of the top of his head, blasting out between the two hemispheres of the brain is a whip-like bloody bone spine with sharp, like scalpel sharp projections sticking out. And it arcs over like a scorpion's tail for just a second and then strikes with a gross speed.
I'm sorry, but can we just go over the fact that it's just like, oh, it's a cord, it's a cable. No, wait, it's a spine!
That's a spine.
This just
so
this just
casual,
makes
it's
me
just like,
think of
it
Resident
could
Evil.
be a cord, it might be a cable, oh wait, it's a spine.
Is he striking at moi?
Yes, he's striking at you, Vasily. I
I don't know why she said you had a gun on him, but okay.
he's got more than one strike. Okay, so what's your negative to be hit?
My negative to be hit is 1.
Positive. -1? Okay,
Negative
this
1.
thing. Okay, you move sideways and this thing scars the wall, digging into it, slashing across the door.
Ah!
Oh
Russell.
Oh boy.
It arcs around, slashing past you.
That's
He rolls an 11. Negatives to be hit, if any.
his backbone.
Let's see here. I believe it's -1, like Vasily.
Okay. That does hit. hits by 1, and he rolls a 10, which goes to an 11. You take 5 points of penetrating damage.
Ow.
You have healed since last time. Go ahead. Yeah, and I believe that's a subminor wound, right?
-5 and 20. From 20, I'm at 16 DP. All right.
By the way, I can show you guys how to use the character creator. It will handle your enhanced DP and all that stuff, and it handles it reasonably easily. You just need to know what to do. So,
All right.
yeah, the character creator, has its faults right now, but you can easily put in the stats for these powers that you otherwise don't have. Okay, so you're scored for 5. And he puts his hands together almost like he's praying, except his fingers are steepled rather than the palms touching. And you see these 2 more arcs of bone, these 2 more spines that come up and lashing out of his brain. The golden arches of McDonald's, 2 more. So there's now 3 of them slithering up, clattering around.
I'm hating this.
And you guys are all spattered. And he says we're going to need to operate. However, the launching of his attacks and then the creation of 2 more whip spines ends his round. Russell.
Again, I'll reiterate as Jules. I'm hating this.
Yeah, it's pretty horrifying.
Yeah, it's very horrifying.
First off, let me just say, bad touch. Second off.
Yeah, I'm looking over there, thinking, wow, I'm glad that disgusting thing missed me.
I'm half tempted to make my way over, give him a hug, and explode at this point. So, what would be more powerful, the gun I have, the revolver I have, or the flame? The flame
is probably more powerful than your basic handgun.
All right, we just got a super fire then. Let's take aim and shoot. All right. Hey.
Woo!
That's a 4.
You shoot him.
I make it by 9.
You shoot him right in the mouth.
What, is this Operation Hoplet again? Are we interrupting a mid-monologue?
I mean, yeah. Give me a good roll.
Please.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It could be worse.
That's a very good roll. So what did you hit by? You rolled a 4?
I rolled a 4. I made it by 9.
He's at no negative to be hit. So now you add 9 to that, so that's 23.
This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, that is actually.
I believe I have another shot, if I recall.
You do, yes. Although
let's wait for this one to resolve first.
We should figure out We should figure what.
Who knows? You might have just blown him up.
Come on.
Will be. Is it penetrating damage?
No.
Oh, then 23 is 1.5 times damage.
Yeah. Well, what's your base damage?
Let's see. I have to find Halo. All right, so I'm medium. So that's 18.
18. So 1.5 times damage. 27.
Damn.
That's a lot in one shot.
If you survive, I hope he's dead.
Well, he rolls an 8, which makes his con roll by 4. However,
jeez,
that's a major wound. Barely, but it is a major wound. So
it's a higher major wound than we do. Oh God.
You hit him, and he is plastered back into and there's like a bookshelf and stuff behind there. He hits it. This is for the flame bolt, right?
Yep.
And that flame bolt flares white hot. And you can see as it punches into him, the light of the flame actually comes out from his empty eye sockets. There's a flash from there. So yeah, he is dazed.
I'm gonna take another shot.
Yes, you.
May as well. Okay, this time I make it by 3. So, not as impressive.
Hey. And you still made it.
Hits him.
Alright.
Yeah, he's at -1 to be hit, or at minus no negative to be hit by.
Okay, 5, 10, 13, plus 3. So that's 16.
Okay, 16 on the damage table is plus 22 or plus 20%. Your damage is 18, so that is 22 points of damage. Which, because he's taken a major wound, that's another major. Normally that would not be a major wound; it would be just under. However, because he's taken enough damage to be a major wound, it now counts as a major wound. There's condition stuff here, which and his head rocks back, and the things go wild, lashing against the. They tear the cabinet to pieces.
Gross.
I'm just imagining one pop, one shot into the wall, another shot.
And you see his brain, his exposed brain. It has small little spider-like legs, and it is trying to crawl towards one of the vents in the corner. It is badly.
Nope. Somebody kill that thing.
Vasily, you get to go.
Please shoot it. Do something. I don't care what. Stop it.
Most of my attacks are hand to hand, and I really don't want to touch it.
Fuck you.
Just a spider. Just smash.
No. Well, it's a brain spider, but I can hit it with lightning.
Sure. Why the fuck not?
Yeah. So I am going to.
You be the pussy. I'll step up and stomp it.
Well, I do more damage with my lightning than stomping it.
It looks blubbery.
Ew.
He's almost dead. Finish him.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I fought you in Doom, and you were pretty weak there too. I'm going to aim for 5 for +2. So I have a 14 or less. What's the negative to hit it?
There is no negative to hit the injured, crawling brain.
Okay. Well, then I have a 14. I hit by 8. I roll a 9, and 8 is 17, which is +3. So
Uh-oh. Somebody's knocking outside.
So 12 points of lightning damage, -1 to whatever con roll it makes.
You hit it with your lightning. It boils. It rises like red, expanding and popping in gouts of gross steam and blistering as it scorches away, leaving
Oof.
burnt carpet.
Ew.
Ugh.
Nice job,
Covering
Ashley.
Bang! The door has cracked open, and you see a Blue Meanie convention out there.
Oh, fuck.
Boys, hey, cover behind the desk. I got this shit.
Can we wake up now? I'm ready to wake up now.
We can't. We're still under the influence of the drug. We gotta find out.
Right, you guys are under the influence.
I don't
Boys,
think we
get
have much.
behind the desk! I got this shit!
Okay, so you get to go, Jules.
Yes, and I know exactly what I'm doing. I am double fisting spheres, and I'm launching these bubbles straight at this blue meanie's face. Fuck off!
Duck,
Okay.
take cover. Grenade!
Yeah, grenade. 2 grenades, actually.
Okay.
Okay, so this thing
Another one, duck.
is it's explosive based. I assume I don't have to throw it very far, considering I'm standing right here.
Well, no, you don't. So you can choose to hit. You can choose to hit. Okay, so you can choose. You have 2 choices.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna have to make a roll to throw it through the door. That's any basic success. I would say you'd have to like blow it by 3 to have it rebound inside.
All right.
However, you have 2 options. Number 1, you can try to throw it. Let's see, how can I do this without it? You can try to throw it like there, right? You could if you throw it here, it's gonna blow up, and it's not necessarily gonna have much inside the room. If you throw it directly at this guy,
Oh, it's going to blow up in here. Oof.
it'll do more damage, but it'll blow up in here. Yeah.
I'd rather us not explode.
Well, technically, the only one that would be affected is Vasily.
I'm like, hey.
I'd like all to have some health. I mean, I've been taking beatings left and right, to be fair, but no, don't do it.
You know what? Fine, I'll toss it out into there. Just like,
Okay.
get back, fuckers!
So make a throwing roll. This is either coordination or a ranged combat skill. There is actually a thrown weapon roll, but what?
I do not have either of those. I'm just going to have to go straight up coordination.
Okay.
This could be bad or this could be good. Lady Luck, help me. Blue by 1.
Okay. That's not bad enough for it to hit the top of the door and rebound in here. But it doesn't land. It doesn't have the perfect landing over there either. It lands
As long as it's just in range of a blue meanie, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, it's here. Okay. What's the damage?
It is 18 explosive.
18 explosive. Okay. You don't hit a blue meanie, so everyone's going to take 9 points of damage with a +4 damage modifier. Roll and add 4.
Okay. It's a 2-yard radius, so I mean the walls are pretty much protecting us. So
it says 2-yard radius. Oh, that's the old system.
Yeah, that's the old one.
Yeah, no, it's that's okay. No, go ahead and roll. Oh, did you roll? You rolled a 17.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good roll. Okay, roll and add 4, so that comes to 21.
21.
21, which is 1.5. So 15 points of damage to everybody. Vasily, you make a 13 or less roll for cover.
Get behind the desk.
I roll a 12. I duck.
Okay. Boom. Okay, everybody here takes 15 points of damage.
Should I duck too? Or...
No, you're not gonna take damage.
Yeah, we're not in range. Vasily was the only one, just because I.
Watch it! I'm flattening against the wall.
At least I made it out of the room. Damn it! I could have hit the guy in front, then you'd be dead.
Exactly.
These two guys. This guy is stunned. And let's see if I can.
Took out 2.
As I say, there should be 8. Yeah, there we go.
And this guy took some damage, but he's okay. This
Okay.
guy didn't take anything.
Well, because he was off to his side. He just watched 2 of his buddies blow up.
Yeah, two guys. There's an explosive. You gonna throw another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are we tempting fate?
Well, I can still move, right?
You can move, yeah. So actually, you can, but moving's going to cost you 5 REA. So the rule is you can step with a strike, if you're stepping in the direction of if you make your roll by 5. You didn't make your roll by 5, so it'll cost you 5 to move. So you can reorient yourself for better shot if you want to, or you can throw another grenade out in the hole.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit ridiculous sounding, but what if I tried to throw it in a way that bounces off the wall and lands somewhere around here?
So you're going to try and bounce it off this wall here.
I'd like to attempt to, yes.
Okay, I'm going to say you need to make a roll by 4.
I'm going to get ready to dodge.
Reorient for a better shot. Reorient for a better shot.
I'm going to get ready to dodge. Can I use my
Oh!
Not bad.
That is 5. What did I have to make it by?
4.
I only made it by 1.
Oh fuck.
If only that one 5 was a 6. If only that other 5 was a 6.
Boom.
Hey.
God damn it!
Okay, roll and add 4.
That is 16.
Okay, everybody, including that blue meanie, is hit for +2 damage.
I'm not.
9, 10, 11. So 11 points of damage to everybody. I think that's going to force you to make a wound roll.
Can I roll coordination to dodge?
You can't dodge an explosion.
Well,
I mean, let me bring up I'm immune to the explosive effects of
Yes,
my own weapon,
yes.
so I'm cool.
Yes, you are.
Sorry, boys.
I take damage. So, how much did we take?
Everyone takes 11.
11.
You took 5
Fuck.
before, so
Fuck.
11 is going to cost you to make a minor wound.
Oh, I am just that. I am 1 point away from her condition, which
Lord.
means it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took
Okay,
5.
so you don't have to make a roll, but you have to make a minor wound roll, I'm pretty sure, Russell.
Oh yeah, I do. Okay,
So go ahead and roll, make a con roll.
Make a con.
Yeah,
Thank
this,
God I'm decent at those. Hey, I make it by 1.
Okay, you make a minor wound roll by 1. You are stunned.
Ow.
Boom.
Roll 5.
This is why I didn't go into sports.
Hey, watch it! Watch it!
At least I killed one of them.
Explosives.
Fuck off.
Leave-
At least I killed one of them instead of one of you.
Yeah, this guy is gone too. The lights are hanging down. There's showers, sparks, small fires. The walls are all scored and scorched. Russell, you're thrown back in here.
Well, I'm covered in ash. I've been stabbed in the chest at least 3 times this period between these couple days.
Yeah, you've got a patch on you.
Okay, what just happened? My headset died for a minute.
So there's chaos and destruction out there.
I'm in great pain. Haley.
You hear somebody clapping.
Huh?
Clapping.
Nazi lady, is that you?
She says you can come out now.
Can you get rid of the other fucker that's out there?
You can come out. I'm their commandante. They're standing down.
I hope so, or somebody's getting a bullet in the head.
I'm gonna peek out and see if they look like they're standing down.
With your antlers poking out, just whoop.
Yeah,
Can
I look
someone
like
give me-
Bullwinkle.
She is standing. She's standing here. Yeah, and yes. They appear to be standing down. Although to be fair, most of them are actually laying down.
Yeah, I mean,
Russell limps up like, oh fuck.
sorry.
Being stabbed in the chest.
There's smoke all in the air here. The suspended ceiling is falling in chunks. This hammer thing is still marching back and forth. This down here, it reaches from roughly floor to ceiling.
Oh boy. Okay then.
But But
Okay, Jules is going to go ahead and support Russell and just kind of maneuver out into the hall. Sorry about the mess.
Russell just gives Jules a side eye, like, really? You're making a joke now.
Yeah, we're gonna
she says
limp.
if we meet again with the army, I'm gonna have to kill you.
I
So,
mean,
you should really rethink the company you keep. I mean, I don't know what you see in these guys, but they're just kind of a bunch of losers.
you know,
She looks-
he said, not me.
She looks down at the thing that they have the swirling mist and smoke and small fires and sparking electrical wires and things like that are
Not
hanging
very
down.
smart, no game. I mean, not even really snappy dressers.
She looks at you dimly and she says, "You're young. You don't even begin to know what a bad job really looks like."
They say, "Oh, well, I've done retail, and it teaches you to hate humanity. I'll give you that."
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
But
Retail's a start, but believe me, there's worse. She shudders.
There's worse than dealing with assholes.
You mean you don't have to deal with the pregnant ladies that come in with their mothers? God.
She glowers at you.
we're going. I'm just saying, you do have options. I mean, there are plenty of things you could do that would not entail hanging out with these,
Nazis?
frankly embarrassing want-to-be Nazis. Give anything that's more pathetic than that.
She looks at the
As
the
we're
bodies.
we are leaving.
She kind of shrugs uncomfortably and smokes some kind of cigarette.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's
Okay. You guys are back on campus. You guys are in cell phone range, and you can get a from Sarah Sparrow.
Oh, hey Sarah, we did the murder. Everything's fine.
May I
Yeah,
just say,
but we got questions for you!
someone not explode and stab? I've been shot, stabbed, exploded, motherfucker.
That's more of a you problem, but...
You're the one who blew me up!
I'm sorry, okay? That's why I had to say I'm sorry! This is why I didn't sign up for sports!
This is why you leave the pitching to me, damn it.
I think I want to commend you on killing a whole bunch of blue meanies, and the enthusiasm is great, but maybe you should practice a little pitching. We could go down to the diamond, and you could throw a few out there. And
guys, if we had a little bit more time, then sure, but it's a little too late for that, so can we please just get moving along? Evidently, we got a giant magical nuke to stop Sarah's shadow from, blowing up.
Are we waiting for Sarah to get here?
Okay.
Coming?
Sarah, answer your damn phone.
I imagine else was just like,
Answer
Sarah,
your
answer
damn
the damn phone.
Sarah actually picks up the phone.
Okay, you are okay. So at this point, like I said, we're because real time is happening on Discord and game time is happening. Slightly disjoint. It is you've tried the mirror corridor thing. It hasn't worked, and now it's late in the afternoon where you have received a text from Jalen who's telling you to meet at night by one of the more gothic statues just off the University of Chicago main quad.
So Sarah's gotten this text and she's starting to feel a little dejected. And thinking well, I guess this is my last option, when suddenly just a small...
Okay.
when suddenly she just sort of has like a flash of an idea across her brain, and she texts Jaden back. She's like, "How late? Can I meet you late tonight? I need to do some prep."
Midnight.
She's like, "Okay." And then
Make sure you're there. I'm promising you'll be there.
Okay.
Don't
and then
fuck me.
She just texts back, "You're not my type."
You think you hear a snicker from somewhere in the direction of Taylor, but you're not sure.
So she like quickly whips that she quickly dials Jules's number. You know what? Actually, no. I'm gonna dial Vasily's number for funsies.
I was about to say, I'm half tempted to think that Sarah would say, "You're not my type," and she'd follow with Taylor in, "No, let's delete that."
Hey, Sarah. So anyway, yeah, we did the murder. Totally went well.
Good.
Background
cool.
yelling.
Glad to hear that. Hey, could you guys meet me here?
You want us to go to Chicago?
Yeah, just it's not that far.
Excuse me, what?
Could you
hear
come
just
over?
background yelling from Russell and Jules.
I could use your help with something.
Oh, Sarah can use our help with something, guys.
Oh, wow, ain't that a shocker?
I guess we should do what friends do and rush over there immediately.
Not like we're having our own problems right now, Sarah.
Hey, I say, I mean, well, of course, we're already heading out, and we'll be there in a couple of hours. But if it involves blowing anything up, you might want to, stand towards the back of the party.
Oh, fuck off, Vasily! I'm gonna fucking shove my fist up off your ass!
Now, Jules, stop.
No, how about next time I set off the explosive in your face?
So
I'm gonna blow you up next time and see how you feel.
How about Vasily in front of me?
Sarah, you're going to buy us all a nice dinner at a good place in Chicago's.
I want whiskey, damn it.
And not Uno's.
I want the good whiskey. The good shit.
We drive.
Yes.
Over.
Yeah. So time passes. Taylor is hanging out with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out that she actually has some basic information on the people who were at that party. Not that she has dossiers on them, because she doesn't. But she was paying attention and taking notes.
Oh.
And as a budding magician, she was having her shadow poke around, even though she wasn't allowed into the room with the ritual and didn't go in there.
Her shadow was poking around.
Yeah, her shadow was poking around. Well, and the room was shielded from other people's shadows. They're hip to that. Yeah. But she was able to get a closer look at some of the freak show.
Yeah.
Than you guys were, since you were a little bit spatially sequestered away from that. And she says, it looks like a fetish market. I don't know if that goes goes hand in hand with being a magician, but just about everybody I saw there was into something weird, and they were definitely, what do they say? Letting their flag fly, their freak flag fly.
Kinky, I guess.
What's that?
There's just like kinky, I guess.
I don't know if I'd even go there. Medical stuff. Yeah, I mean, people hooked up to IV things that they looked like they were. I don't know if doctor prescribed, although there's definitely some Dr. Feelgood stuff going on.
Maybe their magic is their drug.
Body piercing, scarification. I don't know, but I will say this: they were all hungry for whatever it is they think you got. Yeah,
Whatever that is.
some of them, I guess, literally. But
Sarah's just like shrug, like, you know, shaking her head and shrugging. Just, I don't even. What do I have? I literally don't have anything. That's kind of the point here.
they don't think so. I mean, I know from fascinated by the idea. So you're immune to a lot of their games.
Yeah.
You know, they can kill somebody by wrecking their shadow, I guess. They sure think they can, but they can't find yours.
Can't hurt what you can't find, I guess.
Well, it's beyond that. She shakes her head, and she says there was a guy that they were weirded out by, who was there.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah. He was youngish, compared to one of them. Slightly heavy. He dressed actually kind of normal, like a band t-shirt. Messy hair, but I know that they were all keeping away from him.
Did you peep his shadow?
I did. Total blackout.
Ugh.
I mean, the impression I got was a literal shadow, like a stealth bomber.
That's
like he's interdicting it.
Well, that's slightly worrying.
Yeah. And he had but I could see a necklace. And it had a bunch of symbols on it. I didn't recognize them. I figured that maybe you would. I'm trying to remember them. I didn't get a good look. But yeah, whatever it was he was rocking, they didn't want to get close to him either physically or, I would guess, with their shadows.
So it's just like, how much do you want to bet that's the guy we're seeing tonight?
She says, that's my guess. My gut tells me that if there's somebody there who's got enough left to play, it was that son of a bitch.
Well, then all the more motivation for the plan that I'm currently cooking, and I'm probably gonna need your help with.
She says, well, you got to figure out what this elevator thing is, right?
Well,
the elevator. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's the elevator, but what I'm doing is either, like, I think I've got an idea for either an alternate route down, or at least to give us some bodyguards. For
you guys, for the mansion, yeah. You guys show up at the you guys cruise into town. It's later at night than you would think. I guess I'm gonna say it's around 10 p.m.
Oh, jeez.
It's cold. It's cold. There's snow. Not huge drifts, but there is some snow.
God damn it, Sarah!
Man, I miss the sledding we used to do.
I'm not missing this cold at all.
I miss the sledding, honestly. It was so much fun.
Yes.
Russell just subconsciously, his hand goes on the bolt wound, like, oh god, this is still fresh.
Could you please calm down? I think you're starting to go loopy.
Just a little.
Okay,
a little?
So
Sarah tells you to meet her in her dorm.
Well, where the fuck's your dorm?
I'm like, guys, I feel all inadequate. This is a real university.
Are you doing it down here? Towel. You want me to come with you to go get a towel? Yeah. Okay.
What the fuck?
I'll be back in a second.
Did I just hear that correctly?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. They need a towel.
All right, so
What are we doing? What's our plan?
well,
Meet with Sarah, so she can blow up the universe.
Evidently.
I would like to hear her side of this.
You mean the side where she might potentially agree with this plan?
Well, I'm just trying to wonder why anyone would want to blow up the universe.
Sarah is not.
Sarah ain't stable. You do realize this, yeah?
Sarah's gotten so unstable over the course
She's
of
not
this
exactly
campaign.
good morally anymore, or if she ever was.
She never really was. She's kind of what I would call dangerously curious.
So, Sarah, you've gone mad, have you?
Not entirely.
They did say that, you would, if you went off to university, you would become a Democrat. I'm hearing closely. Is that what's happened?
Whatever I missed was good.
Yeah, you just missed the best joke of the session.
What was that?
You just missed the best joke of the
So
session.
Vasil's just like, so Sarah, you've gone mad, and I'm like, not entirely. He's like, they did say if you went off to college, you would become a Democrat.
Well done.
Oh,
Well
fuck.
played, well played. All right, so as you arrive,
Vote for Al Gore? Is that what's going on?
Give me a moment.
All right. So you guys are.
So anyway, so you guys arrive at Sarah's door. If you guys arrive at Sarah's dorm room, you'll find that Taylor's hanging out with her there. Or, well, Taylor's sort of sitting outside the door.
Taylor, holy crap.
And
You've changed, but you haven't at the same time. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. And she'll tell you to that Sarah's inside waiting for you, and that she really can't go in right now.
Why not?
That might be slightly dangerous for her.
There's a lot of things that are dangerous about Sarah at this point. We need to talk to her anyway in private, so yeah, you just stay out here, buddy.
Alright, if you go inside, you'll find that Sarah is sitting on the floor in between, two full-length mirrors that are actually, real big. She somehow found two real big ones. Tall and wide. You're not sure. She must have schlepped them up here.
Sarah, what the fuck kind of a cult fetish game are you getting us involved with?
What the hell is this?
I start checking my hair in one.
Why the mirrors, Sarah?
God damn it, Ashley.
She's like, oh, good, you guys made good timing too.
Could you
What
explain?
the fuck are you doing?
She's like, okay, so long story short, my shadow's missing, and has been missing for a while now. I figured out where she is. I don't know what she's doing down there, but I need to find out. However, problem is, I can't really go down there anymore without special means. I found special means, but they're not exactly the safest, so I've been looking for alternatives. I think you guys can help me out with one.
Okay, what the fuck do you mean, Sarah?
So
Could you speak in language that we'd actually understand?
Yes, I need you to look into the mirror. Look into this mirror. She points at the mirror behind her.
I'm already doing that.
As she starts standing up, she's like, I need you to just look deep into that mirror hallway. Just look deep down into it.
Are you going to steal our soul or something?
No. Why would I do that?
Whoa.
Yeah,
Guys. I am
What?
dangerously good looking.
Vasily, I'm about to smack you!
Oh, look at the windblown hair and everything. I wish I could bring my sunglasses out of Wonderland, but
I'd give you a comb, but we don't have time for this.
She's like, I need all three of you looking. Come on.
It needs to look casual.
Come on, time's a wasting. Let's go. All three of you looking.
Alright, fine. And Vasily, first chance I get, I'm shoving one of my explosive spears up your ass.
Don't do it, okay?
I will do it.
Sarah begins doing a very slow rhythmic chant.
Mm-hmm.
Go what the fuck
I
you
already
doing?
feel nervous.
As you guys keep staring into the like if you stare deeply into the mirror hallway, you'll start to see possibly see something move in there. And I'm gonna make an occult roll here real quick, Marco.
Okay, yep, go ahead.
See, this feels like something we should all be doing drugs for.
That does make it by 1, and then she shoves you all at the mirror.
What? Oh, you son of a bitch.
Possibly into the mirror.
Okay. You make your occult roll by 1. So this is possible. Now.
And as she shoves you guys, she's like, "Sorry about this."
I am going to get out of this mirror, and I'm going to smack you.
Smacking her.
So what I want you to do is this: you're gonna make 3 occult rolls, right?
Yeah.
You want for every if you miss your roll, you get 0 success points. But for every point you make your roll by, you get 1 success point.
Ignore that last one.
Well, you had options in between those rolls, so.
Oh.
But you didn't take them, so.
Well, we got. We made it by made by 1, made by 1, made by 12. Made by 12.
You're looking for 15.
What?
Come up. You're looking for 15 success points.
All right, so I made 14.
Yeah, 14.
14. God damn it. One
well,
shot.
do you have success points?
Oh, I've got plenty. So
then you.
I'll pop 1. I'll pop 1.
Yes, you spend 1. Okay. So, and by the way, so this is a Jags, which would, we would use some of the laws of magic rule. So basically, you could wind up owing something.
Right. Yeah.
Things like that.
I got one. Got one that I can use.
Well, anyway, you got which is effectively what happens. So you guys are pushed into the mirror. It is a surprise push, but actually, what happens is the mirror, like a mouth, snaps forward. It's the frame around it expanding rapidly, aggressively, like Jaws, and then crashing over you. You hear Taylor squeal.
She was outside for a reason.
Yeah, whatever's going on out there, she squeals through the door, and you guys are standing in this for a moment. It looks like a clean cement hall. It's got a glowing, like maybe in a hotel or something. It's got lights periodically positioned. It's got a pipe running along the wall. The pipe is in pretty good condition, but it does show some signs of wear. There's a glowing drink vending machine down the hall. And you guys behind you see this large bay window which has the mirrored rim around it, and you see reflections of yourself in the room where Sarah is.
What the fuck? Sarah, I'm gonna kick your ass when I get back out of here!
Russell's gonna slam on the window.
You know, Marco, I'm really impressed with your ability to come up with all that on the spot, because I know for a fact you probably didn't expect me to do that until the moment you heard the dual mirrors. You probably did expect it.
I had no idea what you were planning, but the situation covers it. So
yeah, pretty much.
So we're still. We're not totally off the map, but yes, yeah. I appreciate the thanks. So you are slamming on the mirror on the window.
Yeah.
You can push through it. You're pretty sure you can. This when you touch it, it feels smooth and pliable. It's got a pleasant texture to it. The air in here it's a clean cement corridor that goes off into quite a distance, and it looks like there's maybe doors or elevators over there, but like you're in the basement of a nice hotel. But there's also like a faint music, from speakers. But anyway, yes, when you touch the window, you can feel it start to deform. The way to get through it isn't pounding against it; it's moving, pushing slowly against it.
I'm gonna push.
Yeah, well,
as slow as I can to get.
Okay.
through.
Okay. Well, yeah, it doesn't get through instantly. However, it does have the effect of inverting the shadows. And you see three people out there in the room, in the same positions where you guys are on the inside. So one of them is back against a mirror, although he's not pushing against it. He has his back to it. And these three people look like characters from that movie that just came out that blew everybody's minds.
Which one?
The Matrix.
Oh yeah, that movie that just came out.
Our shadows are Matrix characters. Oh god damn it!
That's right. Oh yeah, that's right.
It's 1999.
Yep.
God damn it!
Fight Club and The Matrix are in theaters right now.
Ah fuck.
And yeah, you see you see versions of Vasily, Russell, and Jules. They look like they've been through a war, although they have sidearms, combat shotguns. Jules has twin katanas.
Badass.
It has two katanas.
Two
Fuck you.
katanas. Yes. And they're wearing long coats.
So,
What
And they look somewhat annoyed.
So do these like materialize before Sarah?
Yeah, well, when you push them through the mirror, they pop out. So as they go in, these people come out, and the Russell one with his back to the mirror kind of brushes himself off and says, "Nice trick, Sparrow."
She's like, Sarah's just like, "Hello, shadows. We've got some talking to do."
Can I take over for my shadow for a minute?
You guys can run your shadows to a. However, there are certain strictures in place. So first off, you can't attack. Your shadows would be very, very loath to attack Sarah Sparrow. They can be annoyed or whatever, but they would not attack. Secondly,
Jules either way is heavily annoyed.
Well,
there's anger here. There's plenty.
Okay, so that's one thing. There's a few other things that you guys would know playing your shadows that I don't have a problem with letting your players in on, and to a certain extent your characters would learn these as well. So first off, Eric and Zach, you guys have been undergoing a hell of a lot of dissent without realizing it. When you're sleeping in at school during these Y2K drills and stuff, none of that's actually happening. What's happening is although they do have a Y2K preparation system, you guys, your real selves have been asleep while your shadows have been A, going to class in the morning, but also B, doing the surveillance on the operation and running interference and things like that. So about half of your school year has been, kind of weirdly consumed with you guys sleeping through dissents, which is one of the reasons why the RA asked you to do something about the bullies, because your shadows have been running around.
You're not badasses.
Right, and so, like, for example, when the guy across the hall tried to lean on people in there, one of your shadows went and kicked his ass. So your shadows have been doing all kinds of stuff in the morning. So anyway, that's one thing that you know. And secondly, you guys have been all of this is because the thing with the events with Ox Industries, whatever happened, you still don't know, but it punched a hole way down and made it possible for, among other things, for Sarah to get down, for things to come up, and led to the eventuality where Sarah's shadow is trapped down there, and they're afraid that she has learned things like that, which is the mystical equivalent of the nuclear weapon. So you guys can play your shadows.
I'm not entirely pleased with you, Sparrow.
I know you're not, but at the same time, I'm not exactly pleased with my shadow. And who else would know better about what's going on with her than you, the shadows?
And give us one good reason why.
Well, you guys have been down there mucking about in whatever it is. Wonderland?
You guys do this. I'll be back in a second.
Mucking about in whatever it is, Wonderland, for its whole time. And I also happen to know that you guys are more competent, or hyper competent. I've seen Taylor's shadow when she comes back. When her shadow comes up, she is nowhere near the level of competent that you guys are. So therefore, you guys must be somewhat self-aware. You guys must know what's going on and can actually tell me what's going on. So start talking.
Or what?
Or what? haven't thought that far. Here's a better question.
Is there anything in Sarah's room which could be broken?
Here's a better question. Do you want to get my shadow back and away from whatever it is she's doing down there?
Maybe. But the ambush is unappreciated.
The ambush is
Sarah.
the ambush is the only way that I could get.
And your shadow is off doing things that reflect you. So let's start with you. What is your shadow doing down there in the Black Rose's temple?
I don't know. I don't even know.
What if you did know?
How would I? If I did know?
Because it's you.
Look in the fucking mirror.
What even is the Black Rose's temple?
What secret? You're here to learn secrets in magic. What secrets are you learning? What do you want to do with them? What's your plan?
My plan is to understand. I don't know what even is the Black Rose's temple. What's the Black Rose? I don't know any of this. So start talking if you know. Maybe we can figure this out.
What do you want to do with your understanding, Sarah? What side of the game are you playing?
What need is there to do anything with the understanding? The understanding is the end goal.
For its own purpose? I don't believe it.
Not one bit.
Well, you're not a scientist or an occultist, so of course you wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm also not I don't know. I'm not some kind of semi-suicidal, rampaging, curious little fuckwad. That basically would sacrifice slews of people just to learn one tidbit of information that nobody else could learn.
That's the beauty of it. It's because no one else knows it.
Even at the cost of thousands of lives.
It's true understanding. It's knowing how everything works. I want to know it all.
You're hungry for knowledge, and that's exactly what your shadow is doing down there. She's after knowledge that shouldn't be available to anyone, not even us.
Well,
and at the cost, it's going to be big.
Well, if that's
very big.
Well, if that's the case, then you guys know as well as anybody else that I'm the only one who can talk any sense into her. So if you ever start talking
bullshit! Bull shit! I'm calling that right now.
You'll probably agree with her and cause it.
Yeah, which is what we want to try to avoid.
Well, do you want her to continue being down there and doing whatever it is she's doing, or do you want to get her back?
You guys do want to recover her. The Shadow group has concerns about it, but they trust Sarah's Shadow a bit more than they trust Sarah. So they're not going to leave her to whatever the Army of No or the
Black Rose.
or the Black Rose, it may or may not be a problem, but definitely the enemies that you've encountered, the hypotherapist and the Army of No, would be would be unthinkable.
All right. We'll help you out on one fucking condition. If you don't agree to it, we ain't getting away.
Fine, what is it?
You go down, you're taking them with you.
I will if I can, and that's where you come into play. Here's another question. Can you pull me down there? I've been unable to go anywhere since I lost myself. I can't do anything.
That's a great question.
That might be a good thing.
Can you drag me down there?
The answer is yes.
Do you know? Yeah.
You are so lucky.
Yeah, technically we can. It's just going to be kind of weird.
Well, then that's far better than what I was going to do tonight, because it was going to be pretty bad.
I want to ask, but at the same time, I don't want to ask.
All this hunger, all this curiosity, I have to wonder how self-destructive you will become whenever you meet your shadow again.
Very. The answer is very, Russell.
Well, what I want to know is how you guys have been doing so much and yet letting your real selves waste away and doing nothing with their lives for all this time.
We don't want to be harassed by a curious, hungry, knowledge-hungry hobbit.
Our other selves have been going to college.
They've been living their normal lives.
And what about Jules? And what about Jules? Has she been doing anything with herself?
That's not wasting
other than getting high and wasting away in a dead-end retail job?
Okay, listen here, you little fucking shit!
Above ground, Sarah is very judgmental.
Well, maybe I'm trying to do something with myself. Maybe I'm trying to learn things that nobody else has learned. I want to know.
Maybe you're just trying to get over your insecurities that you can't seem to get over.
Maybe I want to know things because knowledge is powerful, and I want to know everything that there is. I want to understand how the universe works.
There is a reason behind it. It's not knowledge for knowledge's sake. Knowledge for the sake of power.
Somebody pounds on the door.
Sarah's gonna open the door.
There is. You see that there are these two guys, these two big guys wearing.
Sarah closes the door.
Well, they've got in between them is Taylor.
Oh.
May I just say that this is all your fault?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not my fault.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
No.
You want knowledge, you want power? This is part of the price. Have fun.
I blame my shadow for this?
You can't blame anyone but yourself.
I'm blaming my shadow for this. She's been acting out. She's been going rogue on me.
Taylor says, hey, gorillas. Two gorillas.
Now we're going to have to deal with these.
Exactly.
She looks at the guys from the Matrix and just stares.
Now we're going to have to deal with these.
I'm going to put another shell into my assault shotgun and say, what do you guys want? Friends of yours, Sarah?
Yeah, not friends of mine, and they better let go of my real friend before something bad happens to them.
Yeah, they're not holding her, although she is between them.
I'm grabbing
Taylor
by the arm and dragging her into my room.
Yeah, she comes in. The guy. They're two big guys. Definitely bodyguard or whatever looking, and they see shotguns. They see Tonto knives. They see Japanese swords. The crew of you looking a lot more athletic than you probably do in real life. Than your real life characters.
Their doughy real life selves.
Well, these guys look hard. And they do that. That is surprising. And one of them says, Jalen is waiting in a car downstairs.
Sarah's just like, fuck. Well, I guess we're going with plan B then.
Who's Jalen?
Long story. And congrats, you guys are now my bodyguards.
Sarah?
For what?
So remember how I said that I had an alternate plan tonight that involved a kind of nasty dude?
Yes.
Yeah, the plan was basically if you guys couldn't get me down there, he was going to, but I was going to take you guys as my bodyguards because I knew you guys were more competent and dangerous than my real life friends.
Well, that's true.
To protect me from whatever this guy might try to attempt.
So we're going to go see the wizard?
Quite possibly. The horrible rape wizard.
Maybe he can give me a heart.
I don't think you want his. I don't think you want him to give you anything.
I'll take a look at his and see if I like it.
I'll take his spine. Might be a good idea.
Am I the only one sitting here that's just like, I'd rather just let you go alone?
Honestly, so do I.
Guys, let's go see the wizard. This might be entertaining. we don't get up to Chicago all the time.
Yeah,
We don't get up here a lot, except when somebody drags us, except when they get dragged down. Or in this case, pushed down.
Let's go see
By
the
the way,
wizard.
trust me, if you're shocked about how angry I am, imagine when she gets back.
Just realize.
Let's put it this way. Would they have gone willingly? No.
Maybe if you had
No, they would
fucking
not.
asked.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe if you'd asked, maybe. But instead, you're probably earning yourself an ass whooping of a lifetime, because trust me, she's been training.
Well, let's put it this way. How long would it have taken? It would have been enough time for me to get you guys up here before Jalen got here? Because I'm going to say no.
You're stupid.
Yes,
With
you
all
are.
that curiosity and knowledge, you're a fucking...
Exactly. But you know what? Fine, let's go on with your plan. Come on, she's grabbing Sarah by the arm and just dragging her out. Let's go, boys.
Sarah's grabbing Taylor and dragging her along with you.
Oh, don't you dare grab at her.
Oh,
She's your girlfriend. Let her go.
Shadow Russell will cock his pistols and just put them back, have them ready. Like all the bullshit.
You guys are in the car. Jalen looks absolutely horrified. This is a stretch limo. And there's one woman in the car wearing a black, what you think of as a funeral dress. And when you guys come down, walking 3-point guard around the two bodyguards sent to fetch, with one of you behind and the other two up close, so that if they try to move quickly. And by the way, we can go over how your shadows are outfit, but it's similar to what you had before, just a lot more so. Combat, level 3 combat skills, hand-to-hand demolitions, spycraft.
Yeah.
So we
All right.
But while you're doing that, Russell, you are pushing on the inside of the glass, and you can feel your hands coming through, and you are getting awfully close when you see this transpire. And they're leaving the room, and from behind, down the hall, you hear this ding.
Motherfucker.
What the?
Down at the far end of the hall, this elevator has opened. It is nicely, finely furnished.
The fuck?
And there is a warm golden light spilling out from it.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it. It's easy.
Dude, where the hell else are we gonna go, considering our shadows just walked out with Sarah?
I'm almost through.
Let's go see the elevator.
Yeah, come on, Russell. There's no use trying to push through. Let's go.
All right. Fine.
Don't worry, once we get back out of here, I'm giving Sarah a whooping.
I'm joining.
Oh, for sure.
Honey, I'm trained to almost kill, pretty much. I don't think you gotta worry about it.
The elevator is open, and when you
Yeah, go on.
step inside, the you can see that there's all sorts of names next to the button, but one that's illuminated is Marie Imbrium.
Marie Embrium. Does that sound familiar to either of you guys?
No.
Part of it's a place on the moon.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Isn't it next to the sea? The expansive sea thing?
The Sea of Rains.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go see the moon.
Well, this is where you believe Sarah's shadow is.
Well, let's push the button.
Oh no.
Let's go down!
Push the button.
Whee!
Push the button.
Push the
Time
button.
to fuck with everything.
Yep, push the button.
Pull
Honestly,
the
at this
lever.
point, we might as well beat her down there. Let's go.
Let's go. Pushes the button multiple times.
Mashes the button.
Ding, 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 ding,
Mash. Ding, 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 ding.
You guys can go to where I'm sharing the screen.
Yay!
Hurrah. Is that a baby head?
It
It
is
looks like
not
a Splatoon character.
It is not a baby head.
It looks like a Splatoon character to me.
Ignore the baby head.
What are we looking at? It's just a black wall. It's like just a gray wall, right?
Well,
Concrete wall. Ah!
actually,
Look at
what you see in the sky
Oh,
The fuck?
The moon.
wolf. It's the moon.
It's the goddamn moon!
However, the ground, you'll wait a second. When my control returns.
Uh-oh.
I'm doing something I rarely...
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I saw a city.
Yes.
Ooh.
You guys are on this black and silver plane.
The fuck?
And there is a city.
Oh,
What the
that
hell?
looks like a fun time.
There's a billboard.
There are craters, and this appears to be a lunar surface with a massive moon overhead that fills the sky that you are perhaps inside of.
This
This
is
is-
H.P. Lovecraft nonsense.
Yeah, no kidding. Cosmic horror, look out. Oh, hey, there's a bunch
Oh,
of
hey, Dunkin' Donuts.
So you got
Wow.
coffee?
Hey guys, remember, even in the most eldritch horror of planes of existence, deep in the bowels of reality, there's still Dunkin'
You'll
Donuts.
always get
Well, wait a minute. I think I see a mermaid.
Nightmares run on Duncan.
Nightmares run. Oh, hey, Starbucks! Even more eldritch horror.
What the hell is all this branding?
Well, hey,
Is
how
this-
else?
is
How
this
else?
sponsored?
How else are we going
I'm
to?
getting,
how
I'm
else
getting
are
a
we going-
venti latte with lots of foam.
How else are we
Never
going?
get that.
Guys,
But, you know, I
how,
need some iced coffee.
guys, how else are we going to keep the costs running on this stream? We have to get some brand insertion somewhere.
This
I don't think I want to be sponsored by Starbucks.
this episode has been brought to you by overpriced and ubiquitous.
Starbucks and
Overpriced and ubiquitous.
Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. Why pay a little for coffee when you can pay a lot?
Yes, there is a town gate with green lights coming
Can we
from
get
inside.
Can we get some coffee first?
And there's a stall outside. I haven't put people in here. I have the capability to, but trust me, this is enough work.
You don't want them to.
And yeah, there's actually
Yeah, I'm going to get a venti latte with lots of foam.
yeah. She is there, and she looks a little bit surprised to see you, and she is setting you up. You guys can take a quick look inside. We're gonna cut back, but there's
Yeah.
stuff in there.
What the hell is that?
There's lots of
I see a
stuff.
jack-o'-lantern.
There's lots of stuff.
There's a
hell?
jack-o'-lantern.
There's jack-o'-lanterns, but I think you should look up What is that? Is that a tree?
That's a tree.
That's a tree.
Is that a tree with a hand on it? What the fuck is that?
No, it's not a hand.
Oh, it's just the light. Oh, okay.
There's just light.
It's just light.
inside
There is
the tree.
there is a lit up billboard there.
Yeah, there's a billboard in the back that's far away.
And of course, we gotta
Alright.
stop by Dunkin' Donuts. We
Gotta stop
can't-
by
we
Dunkin'
can't be
Donuts
horrified
again.
without the donuts.
You gotta get a nice donut to keep you going through the day. It's a good breakfast. All right. So anyway,
Yes. Anyway, that's
Darkness.
so
the void says hi.
so Jaden's not as happy about about my bodyguard entourage.
Who is this guy?
What the
which
hell?
guy?
Jason or Jalen or whatever.
Jalen is a girl. She is. She's dark haired. She's young, like she's a college student.
Why not?
And she looks like she's also captured here. She's sitting, kind of squeezed over.
By the big guys?
Jalen is one of the is at least mostly on Sarah's team.
But she looks like she's kidnapped by the Brute
Yes.
Squad.
Yes.
Oh. Should we? I'm going to ask the other characters while we're sitting in the car with them. Should we kill the Brute Squad?
Don't kill the
I
Brute
mean, we
Squad.
can.
Hold on.
Don't kill the Brute
Just
Squad.
I'm gonna-
Ashley, just hold off.
Let's not write it. Let's not write it off categorically. I'm going to go to the guy who's driving or whatever and say, "What's your thought on us killing you?"
Ashley, would you sit down, please?
It's actually a stretch limo, so the driver is behind a shield.
Okay, then I'm talking to the guy who's sitting with us. I say, I sincerely, it wouldn't be any trouble at all.
Sarah's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I
You
imagine
brought-
Jules just
Sarah,
kind of puts a mouth
Sarah.
over Vasilie's, puts a hand over
Sarah, you
Vasilie's
are
mouth,
not
and she's like,
calling
nope.
the shots here. This is no longer your adventure.
This
This is ours.
Hey, I am calling the shot. I'm calling the shots here only into the degree that you're not going to fuck this thing up.
May I just say that you brought us here?
I brought you here so that I wouldn't get horribly molested while I was under. Under.
One of the
you brought
Brute
us
Squad
It's
guys.
possible.
One of the bodyguard guys says, "We're private security. Do what you're told, and nobody will get hurt."
Okay.
Right.
Hey,
Well, you know what, buddy? So are we to a point.
I'm going to show him my shotgun, and I'm going to say, we're very heavily armed. Do as you're
Vaselie,
told,
would you
and
please put your compensation
you won't
away?
get hurt.
Vasily, put
but
your
we'll-
dick
we'll-
away.
Yeah, one of them is on the phone, and you hear ordnance light arms. 12 gauge or lower. Him rattling off, whatever it is he he could see on you guys.
Vasily,
And
put your
He
dick.
looks at it. He looks
Exactly.
at it, and he speaks back, and he says, "Yes, it is 100% real."
I'll say, let's go see the wizard.
Yeah. Vaselie, first off,
Yeah.
put your dick away. Secondly, sit
I'm
down.
putting the gun down in my lap, but it
He says
doesn't. It's a shotgun. It doesn't
He
really
says-
go away per se.
Right. He says, "My advice is that we report immediately." Yes,
Immediately.
sir.
Immediately, he said.
Or let's just go see the wizard.
Well, apparently, whoever's on the other end of the line nixes that. Can you guys see the screen I'm sharing?
Yes,
Yes.
there's a house.
Yeah, you
that-
pull up in front of this large mansion. This is outside of town,
Oh,
and-
good. Somewhere quiet.
and
Oh man, look at this. Such a awful place.
there's a sculpted stained glass door.
There's a lot of money in wizardry.
It certainly is. It'd be a shame to break it.
Mm-hmm.
Be such a shame.
1 second, guys. Give me a second.
So, who's gonna stop me from breaking the glass?
Jules just like, nope, not yet.
Probably let us in.
No. We may as well make a grand entrance. After all,
No.
we're here.
No.
I thought you told me to put my gun away.
You put your gun away. I still have my hands. I can use my legs.
Russell,
to kick in the
Russell. And this is the shadow speaking. As the one that is a shadow that is in charge of the more crazy one of the group, let me be the voice of common sense. Stop.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
You can either
Because
stop
this
or I'll
goes to
kiss you right here and
reflection.
now and make you stop. Okay?
Reflections. What do you expect me to be? Calm and collected? The boy is happy-go-lucky.
Hey guys.
And again, I will not refuse to kiss you to calm you down. Now stop it.
What?
Alright.
Wait, hold on. Is there something going on between you two that I don't know about?
Sarah,
Shut up, Sparrow.
you're so fucking lucky I can't smack you.
Yes. I was about to say, wait for the others to come back. Then we can enjoy watching them beat her down.
All right.
Relentlessly.
Fine.
There are several cars in front of the house, including one of which is a black Rolls Royce. I've been asked to keep my voice down because we're remodeling some of the house, so everybody's sleeping downstairs.
I got
So
Oh.
let me know if you guys can.
No, you're fine.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. Let me know if I increase my voice because sometimes it happens when I'm wearing the headphones. And anyway, okay. So you guys pull up, and this green manicured lawns. You can see topiary designs, animals cut out of the hedges, and standing. The guards have kind of spread out by the car, and one of them says that the front door is unlocked, and the master of the house is waiting for you and expecting you.
Good.
He says, I don't suppose there's any point in asking you to leave your weapons outside.
Sarah's just like their insurance to make sure he doesn't do anything to me. I brought them along as protection very specifically. I know what he's about.
Jalen says they may not be able to stop him. Who are they?
If he doesn't give me a reason to, if he doesn't give them any reason to do anything, they won't do anything. It's fine.
Who are they? Where did you find these guys?
Don't worry about it.
As I say, Jules is just going to lean in between the two. Yeah, don't worry about it, honey. Let's just get inside.
Let's go.
You guys approach the house.
See, Sarah just finishes it with like, "Look, there's things I don't know about you, and there's things you don't know about me, and I like to keep it that way."
We're childhood friends.
Oh, for God's sake. Man, for someone who's so curious and wants knowledge, man, you're quite the whole.
Hey, knowledge is mostly for me.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, sweetie.
Jalen is like childhood friends?
You're damn right, sweetheart.
They
Yeah.
all grew up together. He went to the university. We went to war.
Yeah.
We went to war.
We just decided to become soldiers. She decided to run off.
We're inside this house.
I decided again, education, do something with myself. She mutters under her breath.
I heard that, Sarah.
Yeah.
We really want to make an entrance. We should all link arms together.
No.
And cut
No.
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 We're not going skipping into a mansion with all
It
arms
would be
interlinked.
unforgettable. We're here to see the wizard.
No.
Lastly, I'm going to smack you here in about 2 seconds if you don't shut up.
Kick the door in for you.
No. What the hell? Okay,
we're here to see
Egyptian
the
idols.
Wizard,
That's
the wizard of college girl rape, apparently.
okay. Egyptian
what's-
statues, giant chess pieces, a throne, lots
Man,
of paintings.
This guy has a big ego and a small dick.
She's just like Sarah just looks around and she's like, yeah, this looks about right.
This guy has a big ego and a small dick.
I feel
Okay,
right at
so
home.
He's got a lot of money and a lot of occult knowledge. Of course he's gonna decorate his house like this.
We see the guy.
Yeah, the guy is sitting in the throne. There's a couple of other people too. I'm just giving you a look around.
She's just like, all right, Mr. Wizard, where's your elevator? I've got things to do. I've got places to be. Don't try anything funny.
Okay, you guys come up there. The guy is sitting. He is youngish looking.
See, Sorry, but all I'm thinking of as they're walking up is Sarah is just that panel from some Marvel comic. I don't know what it is. It might be Moon Knight, but just of a guy just walking down a staircase going like, "All right, Dracula, you bitch, where's my money?"
It's Power Man and Doctor Doom.
Oh,
And yes. Where's my money, honey?
Where's my money, Dracula, you bitch?
Doctor Doom elected to pay him.
The best thing I've ever seen with that comic, with that out of context panel, is you as the DM always trying to make these intimidating BBEGs, but the players always end up like this.
Right. Yes.
That's about Sarah right now, with a bunch of shadow bodyguards at her back.
So this guy who looks like he could be I would say a barista who did a few years at a community college and then quit and works somewhere else now, in the service. That's what he looks like. He's wearing jeans. He's wearing a t-shirt.
So he looks like bland. So he looks like bland white male.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a mop haircut, and he's sitting in the throne. He's
Oh no! Is it the almighty Shaggy?
Oh Lord! Oh
No, Lord, no! No!
Yeah, we can't fight.
No!
It's Ultra Instinct Shaggy. We can't defeat this power.
No!
Strong.
You calm down,
Strong.
Steven. You calm down.
It is
Fucking
not.
meanster.
No, he doesn't look. He doesn't. He does not look like Turbo Shaggy.
Damn it.
Well, would you want to fight
I don't want to
No,
fight
no,
Ultra
no,
Instinct
no,
Shaggy.
No,
the Ultimate Shaggy?
Ultimate
No.
Shaggy is too
No, no.
powerful.
not in this campaign.
Not in
Nope.
this game. You know what? That's season 3.
Oh God.
Just encounter Ultra Instinct Shaggy down in Wonderland. That's the the ultimate caretaker.
Oh my God.
The final boss.
The final boss is Ultra Instinct.
Okay then.
The undefeatable caretaker of memes.
Okay, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah, let's move on, shall we?
All right.
And sitting in the two chairs here, are two more stereotypical looking people. One of them is a much older guy, maybe in his mid 50s. He is extremely fat. We're talking like 500 pounds. Walks with a cane, and on his fingers are they look like class rings. These big thick rings with carvings in them. But you can tell that all of the gemstones on them are odd, unusual ones, and you can see small glimmering occult markings on them.
Can Sarah interpret them at all?
You can make a roll. Yes.
Let's make a roll. Made it by 2.
The two that you can see are both death symbols, memento moris. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yes.
you suspect that if as magical items, they are death magic. He can
Well then. That's
burn
fun.
them to kill somebody's shadow and kill them.
That's fun. Stay away from that boy. Sarah just sort of pulls Taylor a little closer to herself.
And the look in his eye is nasty and gleaming. And in the other chair, over on the right, is a thin woman. She's older. She's maybe in her late 70s. Thin, pinched, stretched. She has high cheekbones and an imperious look, and she's wearing I'm going to describe them as robes, although they're not exactly that, but it looks like something you would expect a 16th century royal personage to wear in a way. She's wearing sort of a cape and, that has a fur cuff around it, an elegant silk shirt that looks bespoke. She has spectacles on that she's peering at you through with gleaming crystal lenses. And you can see that worked subtly into the clothing are card suits, clubs, spades, hearts, diamonds.
Oh dear.
Hard to see, but you can see them in there. And they both look like thunderheads waiting to burst. Both of these people are looking at you, Sarah, like they'd like to squash you, and they don't appear especially intimidated by the three people there, although you suspect they have no idea, you just bought some hired thugs or something. But
they have no idea. They have no idea that they can't. I'm pretty sure they can't actually affect these hired thugs. If my assumptions about shadows and how magic works are correct, I'm pretty sure that this is literally the most effective protection I could bring.
Yeah, it might be because if shadows.
Because they can't affect them. Because these are the shadows. They're up here, and there's
Yeah.
nothing down there that they can affect.
Yeah, I imagine Jules' shadow would kind of glance towards the fat guy and just kind of grin widely, just like, "Yeah, try something, fucker. I dare you. I double dare you."
He looks over the swords and the long coat, and his one of his fat pudgy hands turns one of the rings on his finger thoughtfully.
Russell looks very disappointed at the three. He's like, okay, really?
Okay.
And the guy in the throne says, "Hi, I'm Jasper, and I totally have wanted to meet you."
God, I want to shoot you already.
Sarah.
Sarah just sort of nods at him, and she's like, "Well, here I am."
And he says, "Yeah, the party that we went to wasn't really the best, wasn't really the best venue, and I do have to say that because of this complicated web of crap that we all owe each other." And the woman says, "We are here because our host owes us. And what he owes us, child, is you."
And why do you...
Jasper holds his hands up and says, Hey, this is still my house, my show. All right? None of that. He eyes her, she eyes him. He says, before we get to all that stuff, and he says, "Can we just talk a little bit?"
Sarah's just like, "Sure. How about we start with this suit?" Looking intently at the woman. Why would you even want me? I am nothing. Literally. I have nothing. That's why no one can do anything to me. Because I have nothing. I'm just trying to get back what I have. That's it. That's all I want.
She says, "I'm not falling for that nonsense, child."
It's not nonsense.
How would your hired help know?
Why don't you check?
Oh, are they gonna check us?
Yeah,
or are they that deaf?
Why don't you check
look
my
at
hired
each other.
help?
They look at each other.
You'll see that they're not so hired.
Jasper looks looks extremely miffed, and he gets up off the throne. And he says, "You know where I got this?" He slaps one of the skulls on the head. He says, "Blizzard software."
Oh my god.
Oh,
He says, "This thing is fucking awesome."
So Sarah's just like, oh, yo, you like Warcraft too?
And he says, "They had this thing at E3, and I was like, any price."
So Sarah just like goes up. She's like, can I look at it? That's fucking cool.
He says, "That's what I'm saying."
She's like, that's so cool.
Jules is just running her hand over her face at this point. She's like, oh my god, they're both dorks.
She's like, do you
Can
play
I-
StarCraft?
Can I shoot them? Please?
No,
Can we get this
please.
over with?
Hold on. No.
Everybody
Russell,
guesses
no.
Transylvania, but it's fucking California. It's awesome.
No.
That the woman
Fucking
Suit.
nerds.
Yeah.
says, "How is this possible?" She looks over at the fat man, and he just shakes his head. And he says, "It's a trick. They're
So wait,
hiding in the
what-
corners."
By the way,
Trick.
what part of the year is it? Is it in
It's
99?
like at 99. It's like November.
Oh, it is November. Okay, she's like, so Sarah's like, hey, Jasper, have you gotten Resident Evil 3 yet?
And he says, "I'm on a list."
Well, it was actually out in September 22nd.
Oh.
So perfect timing.
He says, one of them says, what the woman says, "Jasper, none of them are casting shadows." And he says, "Yeah, we knew that." And she says, "None of them." Jasper shrugs. He says, "Well, that's the big secret, right? Right? She doesn't cast a shadow, but she understands magic. They don't cast shadows. Maybe it's catching." The man says, "What? What secret is this? What school?" Jasper says, "I want to show you guys something. I want to show you guys some cool stuff, and then I want to make a deal, but not the kind of deal they're talking about."
Okay, then. As honestly, at this point, I'm trusting you more than I'm trusting squads right here.
All right, I don't know how I fell out of the chat again. Can you like boot Sarah Sparrow or something so I can reach?
Yeah, let me see it. Let me see if I can. I don't know how I kick people off. Hide participant list. Hold on, guys. Past prison exit meeting. I'm going to exit the meeting and rejoin. I don't know how to do that. How to kick somebody off. So,
Oh no.
well, it should just take a second.
Because it's basically saying I have an instance of me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No,
It's technical difficulties, people.
Technical difficulties. Oh, there we go.
Rejoin.
I'm somehow back in.
Yeah, well, everybody else should be
Everyone else-
joining. What?
All right, there
okay.
we go.
Okay.
All right, so yeah.
Hold on.
There.
Sarah's suddenly feeling a lot less suspicious of the wizard, as we call it. A lot more comfortable.
he's the wizard,
with him,
all right.
because he's a big nerd, like her. She already hates the other two and is really disdainful of them, but she likes this guy.
Well, 30% is better than nothing.
I mean, yeah.
So he wants to walk over here for a second.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they're both the fat guy is sitting and watching and is appalled by the by this show of geeky solidarity, but also just not giving down to business, and just this frivolous attitude that he is inflamed by, and the woman offended. But
offended. Are they? How offended are they by just Sarah being completely blasé with them?
And by Jules and those guys not casting any shadows, and just this whole thing is just appalling. So he's got this area over here. It's got a swim lane pool. It's got statuary.
Man, this is frivolous as hell.
What's the book? I want to see the book. Sarah's very interested in the book.
He says, you know what the book is. You know what the book is.
Oh, it's the Necronomicon.
Wait, it's the what now?
Don't you dare open that.
Yeah, let's not open the Necronomicon, please.
Sarah's squealing.
He says, listen, guys.
Is this a real thing?
He says, no. Back in the 70s, a bunch of white supremacists hired an advertising company, one of the ones that Mad Men was based on. Actually, I guess he doesn't know about Mad Men yet, but he says they hired an advertising company to create. They wanted to create an urban legend, Cthulhu mythos. They wanted to create the artifacts and actually see if they could get people to believe in these alien gods. They thought it was obscure enough. He says,
the great old ones?
Yeah, he says because Lovecraft was such an awesomely out there racist. They thought that encoded in his kind was enough fear of the others that it would be they were kind of into mysticism and stuff, but they actually thought they could get people to worship this stuff, and that it would turn other people into. Anyway, these are rare artifacts, but no, you won't go crazy from reading the book. It's all crap.
Oh.
Pretty good art design, though.
It's nice. I'll give it that.
She says, the woman says, "Are you just showing off, Jasper?" And he says, "Yeah."
To be fair, a lot of this stuff is pretty cool.
This is Sarah's just like, this stuff is really cool. I love it.
And she says, "You're going to pay for this, Jasper." He says, "I already paid for it. It's all paid for."
Oh, Lord.
Sarah's just like, so is this deficit spending? Is this what deficit spending looks like?
Russell's shadow just puts his head in one of his hands, just like, oh god.
Hey, I'm actually liking this guy now. He's got a sense of humor.
He said, the man says, "Jasper, you know what this means?" And he's walking backwards in this direction with his arms out. And he says, tell me what it means, Frederick." And Frederick says, "If anybody can conceal their shadows temporarily or permanently, it means we would lose a whole lot of power." And Jasper says so. She says, "Listen, you little idiot. Your family paid for all of this." He says, "Yeah, but it's all mine now. Now, look over here."
Sarah's just kind of like, so is that really the ultimate goal here? Is just power? There's so much more we can gain from this stuff. Frankly, it's kind of frightening that you guys claim to be such powerful occultists, but still don't know even the basics of how this stuff works.
"Hold your tongue," she says.
Russell just looks back at Vasily and Jules. It's like, she's becoming more and more of a hypocrite.
Just keep it quiet. If we need to jump the shark, we'll jump the shark.
So,
Yeah, we just jumped the shark.
the fat man has stood up, and he is using his cane slowly to lumber towards you guys, but Frederick is interested in showing off.
Yeah.
And he says, "You've heard of the Crystal Skull?"
Oh Lord, don't tell
Sounds familiar.
He says, "I got a whole crystal skeleton."
Indiana Jones will be proud of you.
Well,
Yeah.
That's not out yet.
That's not out yet. And
Oh fuck. Yeah.
he says,
He's like-
no. This is. He says, so you guys know what a djinn is?
You
The
mean,
genie.
like, yeah.
Yeah, the genie.
He says, yeah. So
Yeah,
powerful. He says, yeah.
Yeah.
They when
evil
they,
little wish making fucker.
not so much on the wishes, but
No, they're
Anyway,
not.
they do
they're-
grant wishes. They're just kind of twisted.
Jinns,
if one gets-
Sarah's
So
just like
cursed.
jinns specifically don't necessarily grant wishes. They're just Arabian spirits.
and he says if one of them gives you wishes, it'll give you whatever it can actually do for you.
Yeah, they're not exactly all.
It's not anything
powerful
you
as
want, but
They're not all powerful like Aladdin makes them out to be. They're
he says,
more
but if they get
just-
their hands on you, or whatever, whatever it is, their eyes on you, their mouth on you, I don't know. He says, yeah, it's usually fatal for the person. And this was apparently one of the results. He says that's a non-chemical crystal. Don't know what it is. Can't analyze it.
Ooh.
Poor sucker got
Sure.
got felt up by a djinn somewhere in the desert, and that was all that was left. It just examined him and tossed him. That's the gun that was used to kill John Lennon, and the bullet.
So you say,
Oh.
Sarah's just like mystified by this skeleton because she is, at heart a scientist. So something like that is fascinating to her.
He says, "Yeah, I
Oh.
got my hands on it." Mark Chapman, that's a pretty powerful occult object, to be honest.
I mean, considering it's linked to a murder, yeah.
Well, a
Cool.
specific murder, but yeah, kind of killed all of Western
Okay.
canon in one shot.
Occult items have more to do with what they did, very specifically what they did, as opposed to just their general purpose.
Right. That'd
Now,
be nice, yeah.
he says,
Int-
"Anyway,
int-
I got it.
Intent
I
and
wouldn't-
action provides power to these sorts of objects. Though it's the exact
Bless you.
circumstances that causes them are fascinating.
He says that's
Alright.
true. I wouldn't recommend handling it.
What about these
Or-
boxes?
Well, that's a Victorian death clock in the middle there. When it goes off, it means somebody important is going to die.
All right.
Oh.
We should wind it up.
And he says it's kind of perma-wound. When it goes off, it's time to sell some stock, start paying attention, stuff like that.
Pay attention to world news.
Yeah, pretty much something like that.
Fun things like that are pretty borderline useless, to be honest, because sure, someone's important is gonna die, but don't help if you don't know who.
Yeah, well, let's just say it's not good,
No,
but
Of
it does
course
seem
not.
to be real.
That's
So
impressive. That is impressive that you have something that actually works.
he says, yeah, this stuff, none of this stuff was easy to get.
Obviously.
So yeah, it's prized, and he looks over at the three of you guys, and he says, in case you guys have any thoughts about it, it's all pretty heavily wired. So
Sarah's just like, I'm not gonna touch it. That's stupid. That's
Yeah,
that's
me
suicide.
neither. That's not me.
he says, I was thinking about your ops team.
I'm not taking that stuff. Are you crazy? I'm not.
Yeah, and that's not my thing. Sorry.
I
Sarah's
don't
like, I would
feel-
love to study it at some point if you would let me, but I'm not gonna take it. That's
Well, he says we could work something out. That's got potential.
Sarah's
No.
just eyes just go really big and just sparkly. He's like,
Sarah, do you even know what those are?
What are? So he says
Oh, shit.
that's a book of shadows.
Oh.
He says a witch's spell book taught to her
Sa-
by something in the mirror.
Sarah just turns to him. She's like, so between you and me, knowing about this stuff, how much of it is actually useful, and how much of it is a complete load of shit?
The Book of Shadows, and he says, you'd be surprised. He looks back at the other two who are standing now, and when they're standing, although the guy is big and slow, and the woman is older and a bit frail looking, there is a sense of scale about them.
Huh.
Like they're taller.
Intimidating.
You'd think,
They
yeah.
have presence, one might say.
Yes,
Okay.
and they're both standing at like the gateway there. Jasper looks unsettled. He says, well, we may be about to find out what they really want. I think in your case, it's your blood. Sarah.
Blood.
Oh boy, my blood.
Like a little bit of blood, or
We
like
talking.
He says, are you familiar with this in a bathtub?
Oh.
Hey, what now?
Oh.
Sarah's just like, there's way more subtle ways you could go about getting it that, are probably just as effective. I mean, there's a blood drive on campus happening in like a week.
Jasper says, yeah, I think she's looking for bespoke blood. Yeah, someone who doesn't cast any shadows, right?
I'm gonna make a occult roll to know what the fuck bespoke blood is.
Go ahead.
So.
Meanwhile, Jules is just walking around this one box, just like, the fuck?
Don't.
Made by one.
touch.
You can hear a faint ticking from it.
Is that a bomb?
No.
Looks like a projector sort of thing.
Actually, it has an eye hole that you can stick your eye in.
She's gonna do that.
He says, don't
do it.
Well, first off, there's a glass case, but you can open it, and he says, I if it's ticking, it won't work, but I still wouldn't play with it. But yeah, you lean in there and you see darkness inside.
What is it?
And he says it's called the Nightmare Box. Did you see that movie with the puzzle box?
You mean Hellraiser?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it the one with the weird puzzle box that the pinhead guy comes out and basically tears you apart?
That's the one, yeah.
Hellraiser.
Yeah. So he says, that was based on an urban legend that's based on this. I mean, no, props to Clive Barker. He's definitely a pioneer, but yeah, it's not a puzzle box. Although there's some similarities. Now it's got a variable speed countdown clock inside. You hear that ticking? And sometime once every 4 weeks to 4 years, it stops.
So don't.
When it stops, a little button on top pops out. And he says it'll only take the left eye. And you put your left eye against that scope. You look inside. You push the box, and you see whatever it is the Nightmare Box has to show you. Everyone who's tried it has pretty much committed suicide. They lose all interest in everything. I mean, they won't talk about what they saw.
So what you're saying is it's an anhedonia machine.
I don't know if it stops you from being able to feel pleasure. He says, you know what? I've been studying it. I like taking it apart. It was built by a creepy craftsman guy. He says there's a whole story there, but I'd really like to find out what he was building off of. But you know what a couple of them have said? I mean, it's hard to get them to talk, but they will. You push enough. They're convinced that we're all characters in some kind of book or something.
Huh.
not
Have you
real.
tried looking at it down below? Have you tried looking at it?
Yeah.
Have you tried looking at the truth of it?
And he
When
says,
it's operating?
yeah, I have. Well, not when it stopped. When it stopped, I'm afraid of it because, I kind of think I could handle it. But then, what if I find out I'm not real? I'm, a kid, some chapter in somebody's book. I'm not even the main character.
That's life, man.
Yeah.
Sarah's just like.
But anyway, yeah, thing scares me.
Well, if all goes well tonight, then maybe we could work something out.
He said, "Well, I've heard if you take it apart, you break it. I mean, like."
Oh, I didn't mean taking it apart.
Yeah, well, I know, but it's hard. I had to X-ray it anyway. But anyway, it's cool. It's a real thing. The death certificates are all unhappily real. The pictures, those are real pictures from Bretton Woods. Anybody here know monetary theory? No?
No.
No? Well, yeah, you can online. Bretton Woods decided to get rid of the gold standard. Anyway, it was a bunch of leaders. They all met at a hotel, Bretton Woods. I think it's in Connecticut or New Jersey. Anyway, nice place, all up and up. This is some of the photographs that were taken from there. Yeah. So apparently all that monetary theory, central bank stuff was, yeah. Well, you hear the stories. These are photographs from there. I know they're real photos. Had them looked at by experts. Bretton Woods. Anyway, you can look it up.
So it's just like, look, all this stuff is really cool, and I'm not gonna lie, I want to look at it more, but I still gotta say, I came here for a reason.
And the guy says, enough. That's Frederick, standing up at the top. And he says, right, you want to get your shadow on. And
I want to get my shadow back.
Yeah. Well, the next best thing.
What do you mean the next best thing?
And he says, well, Frederick and the woman, has very long fingernails. And the man has all of the rings gleaming on his fingers, and you are pretty sure that their shadows are all semi-manifest. That whatever it is they have going on in lower chessboards is affecting chessboard 0.
Huh.
And Jasper kind of folds his arms and says, my house, but my debt. He kind of frowns and he says, guys, I invited you here because I owed you, and I'll stand aside because I owed you. But if you do this, even if you win, you're gonna regret it.
So it's just like, you fucking. So it's just like, look, you may be powerful down there, and I know you are powerful down there. I would probably not want to tussle with you down there, but you're just as squishy up here as anybody else.
So it's where the fun begins.
Frederick is like, we're gonna see just how not real those shadows are. I say you are hiding. All right, we're gonna leave it here. It's past 10, so.
Yeah, with screaming baby in the background, it's probably a good time to stop.
Yeah.
Maybe the baby's screaming because he wants to run the combat.
Maybe.
Most likely.
He'll scream some more. All right, guys, next week.
Thank you all for watching. Tune in
Okay.
next time.